This is All Access with John Samuel. I'm your host, John Samuel. And today we have a special guest. We have Carrie Farber, who is the accessibility lead at Walmart eCommerce. Thank you so much, Carrie, for being here today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks, John.
Well, I know this is a very busy time of year for y'all, given the holiday season. So how is it right now on the e-commerce platform at Walmart?
It's going great. We're actually wrapping up and we're excited to deliver another great holiday season for our customers.
And so, Carrie, you've been with Walmart e-commerce for a few years now, right?
I spent about 10 years on the creative team, working on content strategy for marketing campaigns, product detail pages, SEO, and even video. And then spent some time on our customer experience team, which at the time was really focused on site merchandising. So I got to really partner with our global marketplaces team to really help drive the customer experience. And then I moved into our product organization, working on user-generated content, and then transitioned into accessibility.
How was that transition, and can you share your story about that?
As I mentioned, I've been with Walmart for quite a long time, and I knew that I was going to lose my vision. I have a retinal degenerative disease called retinitis pigmentosa. It really didn't start to impact my day-to-day until about 2015. And I was keeping it a secret. So I wasn't using a cane or a guide dog. And in 2016, I was really in the thick of vision loss. And I kind of came to this crossroads, and I had to decide to either leave Walmart or come out and share my story. And so I was learning to use assistive technology called the screen reader. And one day I was shopping on our website. And for the first time in 15 years, I couldn't shop on our website because it had some opportunities when it came to accessibility. And so I thought about all the other people who are touched by disability, whether it be low vision or blindness or other disabilities, and really kind of thought this is my opportunity to make a difference for other people as well. So really just started working on accessibility and, started to advocate and educate. And now, a few years later, proud to lead accessibility for Walmart eCommerce.
I know the experience of self-disclosure, self-identifying, and that for myself, it was a challenge. I didn't feel comfortable with sharing my story just like yourself. How was the response at Walmart?
When I look back on it now, I realize that I was really my own worst enemy, because I had all of these thoughts and these perceptions that people, were going to doubt my ability to do my job, or, I kept questioning, would having a disability prevent me from growing and continuing to develop my career at Walmart? And I had convinced myself that this was actually a liability, when in fact, it's actually been an asset. And everyone has been really, really amazing. They've been supportive. They, are very welcoming and inclusive. And, ever since I kind of took that step and, shared my story, it's actually been the most rewarding experience, because I'm in, what I now call my dream job.
In addition to your daily job at Walmart, you're also employee resource group, correct?
I am the chair of the Bay Area chapter of our associate resource group. It's called Enable. And we really focus, again, on promoting inclusion for people who are touched by disability or for families. So, we have associates who may be a caregiver, whether it be a child or a parent or any other family member. And then, of course, we have just folks who want to join because they're allies. So it's a great experience to be able to connect with our associates and also our community and give back and continue to promote the importance of disability inclusion in the workplace.
I've been wondering, because there's a lot of organizations who really want to start ERGs. And so if you had some advice for new organizations who are starting these, what are some tips you would give them?
I think it's important to create an environment that's truly welcoming and values everyone. It's important to identify people who are passionate about the ERG, right? So whether it's disability inclusion or we have a Latin, group, and our Black and African American group, and so on. Just finding people who are passionate and candid and transparent. And I think the other key is really having leaders who champion diversity. So again, having leaders that support the teams, who also, make time for their teams to participate in different types of events, and whether it's in the physical world or the virtual world, and leaders who champion and will tell their story. Because we've seen, the more people who, share their story and their journey, whatever it may be, basically other people will hear their stories and then kind of reach out, and that's how we create an environment where people feel like they can truly be themselves.
I'm a big advocate about people sharing their stories, and that's really why we started this show. I know that you've done some really cool events with your ERG. You guys have done some dining in the dark, is that correct?
We call them like learning events, where we really want to help people understand customers and associates with disabilities. So we have folks come through our discovery accessibility lab. The dining in the dark is really about teaching people, one, like how to be an awesome sighted guide, and then have them step into the shoes of someone with a disability. And we really focus on real clear communication, being supportive, and just key attributes and skills that are actually so valuable in our day-to-day.
And so you're also part of some guide dog groups, is that correct?
Groups of handlers have gotten together and share best practices. And then also, again, in our virtual world, we'll often collaborate via Zoom.
What is some advice you'd give to folks who may not have much exposure to guide dogs?
Service dogs are extremely focused on the environment. And in the case of a guide dog, when someone comes up and starts talking to the dog or trying to pet the dog or distract the dog, it's basically like a driver taking his or her eyes off the road. So if the dog, turns to look at someone who's making, kissing sounds or, just trying to distract the dog, then essentially the handler can be put at risk from a safety perspective. So admire from afar. And again, if you have questions or whatnot, always just, approach the handler and, ask the handler those questions versus engaging with the dog directly.
What are some of the your goals for yourself and some of the things you'd like to see in regards to disability inclusion in 2021?
I'm looking forward to attending some of the great conferences like CSUN. Even if we're not able to get out in person, it's going to be a great virtual experience. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited about the great work that's just being done in general in the industry. I feel like there's been an increased focus on, cultural diversity, equity, and inclusion in the past year or so. So I'm excited to see how more and more companies are getting involved with disability inclusion, whether it's just in their workplace, learning more about it, starting ERGs. Also just the focus on accessibility, not just for customers and users, but also for employees. So I think that's exciting.
Thank you so much, Carrie. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me.